from Kingdom 24. Hey, what's up, everyone? This is the Professor from Kingdom 24. Hope everybody's been having a good KvK so far. This is KvK 4. Uh, everybody's been staying safe and hashtag stay home amid this COVID-19 outbreak. Uh, we're in this together. So, I know I made a video about retiring after last KvK, but I think what kept me here making this video and participate is the people and community of Kingdom 24. We've been here playing for about 625 days, and I think there's no other game can have this kind of attraction to bring all the people together and play together. So I really appreciate that for Rise of Kingdom, and I will be narrating what's happening in Lost Kingdom number 12, and we're here with uh, Kingdom 22. We are at Kingdom 24, 81, 85, 167, 213, 214, and these are the two alphas of the group, and we have 220. So we're here at Lost Kingdom 2012. All right. So again, I'm not a YouTuber, so not gonna tell you how to play this game or put the outfit and the artemis in the path and stuff. And I'm not gonna tell you how to play the game. So, but I will tell you how this game is played with the strategies and some behind the scene management stuff and how we plan the wars, just some thought process. So and review some of the things we happened in the KvK fourth season, uh, Lost Kingdom 12. So I hope you guys like that. In the end, I'll show a lot of some reports that we have participated. Um, Now I wasn't gonna go hard, but I still have currently 10 million dead already. I came into the KvK with about 8 million. Lost about 2 million and five T5s and T4s together. So yeah, so as we can see here, at this point, the war is almost over. I usually don't make videos during the KvK because I don't want to review anything. We are the color of these kind of brownish, and our alpha is here with blue. So how do we get here? Now let's start with matchmaking, right? So when we first look at the matchmaking in 12, now this time, uh, Lilith really threw a curveball at us. They want us to play in camps, right? So we gotta find our own teammates. So, uh, relatively speaking, there's less uncertainty because you have a long time to find your teammates, right? So we're in the solar camp with 214 as our champion, as our alpha, right? The current score, and 160, 167 and 81. So before we jump into KvK, we talk about pre KvK, right? What happened was we didn't initially pick 167. We have another group member 115, right? So these guys we picked, and everything was good. We're getting ready, but what happened is one day before the game starts, the KvK actually starts. They bounced without saying a word. Kingdom 115, guys. Remember these motherfuckers, please. They bounced without saying a word, left us with one man short. So we had to pick another guy, So we picked 167, not knowing who they actually were. And I don't know where 115 went, but I hope they having a good KvK because they were pretty fucked up making that move. All right. So we got matched with 213, 022, 220, and 85. Now, 213 and 22, if you watch the previous KvK videos, these two are our allies, right? So these two kingdoms used to be our allies. So we have an understanding of them. But before this starts, let me just heal some troops here. Before the game starts, Kingdom 213 was actually an Imperium. So I'll go through the thought process. So here, I feel like they picked two relatively average kingdoms to lower the total power so that they get to match with something like our team, because we do not have a. So this is the top kingdom, top alliance of 214. We do not actually have an a Imperium, so they were like the big dog in here. It was kind of intimidating because they have multiple alliances in the beginning, including ARL. They have at Spartan, and they have gods. Back then, it was all 9 billion, 9 billion alliances. Right, so they have at least two major alliances overall, more than us, right? More than the entire camp. So we were a little bit intimidated. But what we know is that we know how K22 is, right? So our guy, Da, absolute monster, just rallies every single day. He is actually originally from Kingdom 22, right? So he knows exactly what is going on and their capability of fighting. So we weren't really worried too much about Kingdom 22. As you can see, we spawned actually right next to them, right? So we spawned right next to them, like right here. Right, so now we're already they are the pink, so we're invading them right now. Now, so if I can go back, I'll show some pictures as well, just to help me narrating through the process. So if you guys bear with me, I'll show you guys the spawn map. So this is how where we spawned. So of course we are here down here, and then 213 and 214 spawn next to each other, and we're next to 222, and then we are next to our longtime friend 81, and 220 we do not know anything about, but they do seem like they had a lot of whales to begin with. 85 and 167, definitely the smaller kingdoms of this KvK. So when you look at this setup, now you know that you see that, oh, you know, all the alphas and betas are matched together, but I do think this is significantly advantage to us, because if you look at the map, 213 cannot actually come across down to 81 and 24, because there is going to be major resistance of 81 and 24. However, if you look at the spawn position of 214, they can easily march down 85 and reach 222, because 85 is a relatively small, very the weakest, one of the weakest next to 167. So we feel that if the war break out, right, we have a significant advantage because there's flexibility on the right side of this map. 85 and 22 has no way to stop us and 214. Now, since we know 22 very well, we know their capability of fighting, and we do believe, because our kingdom, my alliances, have major whales that can defeat them. And we think that they are more farm-oriented kingdoms. So the original plan was already that we will stop 22 and seal off 85 in Keeneland, and then go right to 220 and 213. And all 214 needs to do is to hold 213 in position, right? So that was the original plan. Okay. So now let's go back to the game. Let's see. All right. So that is essentially what our initial plan is before we going into the game, right? But this time, what Lilith did was to have all these ruins and altar fights, and it consumes your resources every single freaking day. You know, but we were able to just purely defeat the P22. They weren't able to get any of these altar shrine, ruin, and altar occupations. So we were very confident before even going into Kingsland that we will be able to defeat them quickly, and so that we can help out 214, because they are facing a Imperium, and 220. We don't know. 220 is the Gray Kingdom here. The Gray. I'm kidding, guys. They're red, but they're, you know, I'll talk about them later. Let's hold that thought for a second, okay? We'll talk about them later. The Gray Kingdom. Uh, let's look at this. So now this is the Keeneland, right? So we fight every single day at the ruins and altars, and I do want to show a trick here. Show one picture on how we set up. How do you actually fight for an altar, right? So this is how we actually did it. We put two alliances touching the pass, and we will have one alliance fight at the pass, the enemy's pass, hold them off while the other alliance occupy. Now I don't know how other people do it, but we found this strategy effective because you can only send one team inside the altars and shrine ruins anyways, right? So this is what we did, and we find it very effective, and that's what actually happened. So I'm just gonna fast forward because there's really not a lot of things to talk about other than the fighting ruins every single day. Um, I will fast forward. I will go to a map on the first day of Keeneland fighting. So let me see if I can find it. Okay, here. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so this is what happened the first day, right? So we got in there. Uh, you can see the purple is this is all K13 actually, and you see that the green is 167, basically non-existent. They didn't even try to flag out or anything, right? So they just got like stifled by 85, which we thought it was a small alliance, and 81 did a great job. This little cyan color on the bottom left, they stalled entire 213 and 220 BBC is what I call them, the big black, you know what, right? So courtesy credits to Bambi and her mystic fucking flag formation, and they just confused the shit out of the 213 and 20. They just couldn't get through during the first day, right? So they keep burning, and what we did in the meantime is right here is to break through and seal off PV K22. Now this is the original plan. We're gonna seal them off, and then we're gonna go up, seal off 85. So that eliminates two kingdoms in Keeneland, right? So as you can see that we actually cut through some of their flags. But what we didn't think was that expect was that we spend a lot of the time doing fighting K22. So it wasn't supposed to be that long because we thought that we were gonna just smash through them because we have way more whales, right? So as you can see from the power ranking, we have the top whales and they're very active. Um, and in the kill counts, we also have a lot of people with a lot of kills, and we're fighting kingdom, so we don't give a fuck, right? But we really didn't expect them putting up such great resistance. So respect to them, to 22, our old friend, right? So now I want to show you this map. This is what Keeneland look like right now. So what happened is that after the first day, K81, right, brought us enough time, right? And even though with PV K22 throwing everything at us, we were able to finally have a chance to defeat them and come back to the left side and deal with what originally was the purple K213, right, and the K20. Now this is the part where I can show some reports here. Right, this is what I call a death cam. There's a lot of rallying, and the first day PV they really held, they tried to hold the flags here. Here like we do some I think this Ram and the Isengi combo is very effective these days because people are now figuring out how to stop the Attila combo, right? So the Attilas, it's hard. Used to be invincible, right? Everything touches is dies. Not now. Oh, look at this one, 1 million death, and this is what they did, right? So most of the trades, we are at significant advantage, right? So So right now, the way to play them is that you have to switch the rallies. So you rally them with calves, and then they put a bunch of oh, look at this one. This one's horrible. Yeah, so this is what basically and this mines is pretty crazy. He just swarms the rallies all the time, and then he got like all these are T5, I think. Yeah. So basically, what K22 did was to stuff us with enough people to buy time for the other side, right? So to buy time for the other side. Now, what I think could have happened is that they try to buy enough time, and then the other side comes over, and we suddenly are facing like an opposite situation, right? So this is all the people that look at these trades. Look at these trades, huh? So they really tried hard to stop us and buy time for the entire camp. So I really respect these people. PB. We didn't initially thought it was gonna be that hard, but also uh, the pass opened at the lunar camp buff time, right? So we didn't have the buff, and we fought a lot or at this low pass. Now, one of my war council rogue, usually he makes the correct decisions, but I have to say, I have to be critical about my own people that he didn't really flag out. So he was just trying to smash it here, and we were wasting time here. He didn't really try to flag out early. Now, what happened was that it caused the PV. This usually be right here. This region used to be Kingdom 22. They actually flagged out, and they were occupying this entire land, right? So, but I think it was a kind of like a blessing in disguise, because uh, this we didn't seal them off fast enough so that they kept on coming and fighting, as you can see from those reports, right? Um, we were able to kill a lot of them, basically. We were able to basically almost eliminate the entire um, kingdom's troops, right? So we just keep doing this. You can see that they're not in good trades because our whales has superior equipment, and our whales have a lot of we have a lot of better rally strategies, and they don't have um, a good commanders and or enough T5s. And what they do is they just swarm you and to buy time, and so you restart again, and then they swarm you again. But this is a war of attrition, right? We all know this, that there's no way that they can hold on that long, right? So after first day, there really wasn't that much of a resistance anymore, right? So this is the war when we are trying to take care of when we start swinging back, trying to take care of S213. Now, now the wars start coming this way because we have cut off PV Kingdom 22, and we're trying to help 214. Now, so the good thing that happened to us is that one of the major alliances of 213 is called HOF, right? Hall of Warriors or Fighters or whatnot. They migrated after the matchmaking. So they left, they lost a lot of power, and they were matched with us. So it kind of threw it off the balance, right? But they were still Imperium. So that's a big kingdom. Let's just say 213 was a big kingdom. They were still Imperium, right? So first day, very exhausted. TOC was fighting basically God, S1213, and ARL at the same time. So they were, and then on this side, 85 start poking out because the 167 absolutely just I just have no words to describe them. They are not active at all. They're always sleeping. You ask them, hey, come out, fighting, help us. They're sleeping, right? So they're sleeping 24/7, right? But they were squeezing in on to 214, and even during the first day, and I kept telling Navi, this is the king of TOC, the king of 214. We're almost there. Just hold on a second. Just hold on, right? We're almost sealing off to 22. Now they did hold on, right? So they were not intimidated by 213 at all, but uh, the original assessment was that 214 at this point I can say that is a little bit weaker than the original 213 because 213 had ARL, had S213, and had God. These were full alliances, right? And the first day they were pushed back during the weaker time. But once we were able to come back and we fought the Spartans, we fought these guys. The Spartans, even though it's a 7 billion alliance, but definitely felt like they fought as a any of the 8 or 9 billion alliances. They were very very crazy. We were just my guy Akalon was a crazy guy who was just going at it for days with Hani. This guy here, you can see from the stats, they were rallying each other for this person actually dropped 40 million power. They were rallying each other for about 10 hours nonstop, right? And and finally, we were able to push them back because that S213 is distracted and they had to fight us, while God and ARL is no match alone is no match for TOC for 214, right? So I do think that if the three alliances were together and they may able to defeat 214, but not without the Spartans, right? Now let's talk about what happened to 81 here. 81 and the cyan color, and the Gray Kingdom K20 220. These 220 people, right? Look at them. They have a bunch. Sorry, they have a bunch of whales, right here, right? Saudi, or possibly from Saudi Arabia, playing like a grandpa, right? Uh, just sends T5s to you, and then they have a bunch of whales all up here, right? And then K81 doesn't even have that many whales, right? But they start bitching and complaining, but they're only awake for 4 hours from 20 UTC to 24 UTC. They attacks you, they try to come out and burn the flags, and then they all back up into sleep, right? But they keep bitching and moaning all the time. They're we're fighting. We're fighting three kingdoms at one time, and we decided to retreat. Bitch, you guys didn't fight at all. Okay, so let's look at the honors. All right, let's look at this. Look, they're like no one from like the losing camp is on top of the rankings except 20 K20, right? So look at the K20. They're still on top, right? So what they were doing. Now, if I can guess, the plan was that we've heard that 220 was gonna migrate, right? 220 was gonna migrate, and then they got matched with the Imperium, and they saw us. Oh, there's no Imperium over there in the other team. Maybe it's an easy KvK. And that is kind of true. We were intimidated because during the pre-event, we were also lagging behind a lot. Our honors before the pre-event is number one is 214. That's after one alliance of 213 migrated, right? And then it's K213, right? They're alpha, and then it's 222, and then it's 220, and then it's us, and then 81, right? So it's like they have all the rankings, they have the activities. Supposedly they are more active kingdoms, right? But they were. I just think that their heart was not there, right? And I think the Keeneland battle, they could have a shot during the first day, and it was very close. But what happened was because 220 definitely dropped the ball because they went to sleep, right? They want to sleep all the time. They don't want to lose troops because that they knew they were gonna migrate, and they wanted to have a easy rewards, right? They were pushing a lot of honors. We know that. Just and I have not too much respect for them because they kept bitching and moaning. 1v3 kingdoms, like look at 81. 81 first day was fighting 220 and 213, right? They were not complaining. They were not, oh, you know, why you doing 2v1? And we were fighting K21 113 213 and then 22, right? And then we're also here with 83 85. So like nobody is actually 1-on-1 and nobody is 3-on-1. So just stop that. Stop crying like babies, right? So if we look at the honors right now, still Kingdom, we barely passed 1022. So, and you can see the score here. So you can see that they're very active, right? They're active, but honors doesn't mean anything, right? So doesn't mean the fight. So the fight was determined by the amount of whales and your strategy. Now, if we talk about how they could have flipped the table and they won, is that what I think if S213 were able to S213 were able to join up with God and start pushing, and God and ARL start pushing 214 before turning around again against us, right? I think they definitely did not respect enough power of 24 over here, and they underestimated the uh, the maze that little Bambi from 81 created for them. Fucking, they got really confused with the flags and they fucking don't know what to burn, and it stalled enough time. And we got some Solaris buff the second day, right after the first day, and K20 weakest link dropped the ball, didn't care, backed up like immediately as soon as possible, right? When they see us turning around, they didn't fight us. They left 2-1, 213 to fight us alone. And at that time, 214 was able to push out. Now, so that's what my assessment was, right? So I think that if you use 213 to push against uh, entire, so the entirety of 213 needs to go hard to 214 to beginning, seal them off first, right? Because if you seal them off, you can go through the 67 is non-existent, and then you just leave us one. We just have one left, right? But instead, they did split their force with S213, which is fighting like a real fighting alliance, right? To us, so yeah, so that's how we actually won the Keeneland battle, and 214 was gracious enough to let us take the first occupation and gave the Twilight to 81, and then they will hold it for till the end. So that was the alpha thing. We know you guys alpha. You guys fighting a 213. You guys got the big boys, but we were definitely one of the top. I would say one of the top performances in this KvK, if not among all the betas, right? So yeah, so I want to take a break and we'll come back and talk about what happened rest, and we'll show more reports.